constant repetition of name. Whether it is out of bhakti or whether it is out of bhaya, doesn't matter. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. You see people, they keep carrying those pouches. They put it around their neck and they have one finger sticking out. And like, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Constantly they are doing. If we cannot reach to a stage wherein the mind cannot stay quiet without it being engaged with a certain activity, this stage that is being discussed is not for us. Wait until you get to that stage. But you command your mind, shut up, and it shuts up. You command your mind that this may be a laborious process, but you will be engaged in it until the end result is achieved. And it stays there relentlessly without any resistance. And after having engaged in an overwhelming doing, you say withdraw, and it instantly withdraws. Without having nagging issues of various things that you might have gone in interaction, still giving up pop-ups in your head. If that accessibility is gained, or when that accessibility is gained, such individuals, when they sit with that one awareness, Tat Brahma iti avadharayet. That's why the avadharayet, that word, they have very specifically chosen. He is not trying to say that that one state has to be repeated. If it is still in a repeated process, or if it becomes a process of thinking or a thought, he is still in the state of mind. We have not transcended from the state of mind to the state of being. And for long hours, when you can maintain that one awareness, I am, that's it. There is no more continuation. The mind is not trying to comment, today's meditation is so beautiful. The moment the mind starts its commentary, you have stopped being and started becoming. Be conscious of that aspect of mind and intellect as well. It would want to brand. Observe it. That branding pattern also drops. And when you are absorbed in that one phase, sometimes even talking about it becomes such an effort, because it is easier to stay in that state than talk about it. Staying in that being or in that state of being, you easily lose track of time and space. Because what keeps track of time and space? The mind. The mind is now completely at rest, but yet it is awake. When that happens, that means the experience has intensified. But if you sit there to close your eyes, and then the mind is like reeling constantly with so many thoughts, and you are trying the effort to stop all those thoughts, this is not the step for them. Go back to pranayama, then go to japa, then do puja, then do shravana, manana, nididhyasana. You say on, the mind is on. You say off, the mind is off. in the same note, if somebody can sleep with just 2 minutes notice and can wake up, whether it is 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 8 hours, and wake up exactly precisely after that 10 minutes or whatever time that you thought of, and the mind is again up, on. That kind of accessibility is to be gained on the mind. That is when the license, see, we have license for drivers, right? They have to go through the test, they have to first read that book, that yellow, green, red with black patches. Remember that book? So you have to read through that book and give the test, and then you are given the learner's permit. And the learner's permit is you have to drive along with somebody who has a license, who is older than 21 years of age or something, and then go around, and then when you are confident, take the test along with the state trooper, DMU, and they look at, they have 6-7 points. Even if you fail in one, they say come back later. And when they feel satisfied, they say, okay, you are now approved to have the license to drive. Similarly, what is the license to meditate this? Have complete access on that mind. Then sit there with that awareness, I am. Even that I drops. It is just the amness. It is just the presence. Continuing, he says, now once that time and space is lost and that is intensified, what is the next stage of that experience? He says in the 56th shloka, Tiryagurdhvamadah purnaha Tiryagurdhvamadah purnaha Satchidanandamadvayam Satchidanandamadvayam Anantam nityamekam yat Tad brahmetyavadharayet Tiryag urdhvam adah purnam Satchidanandam advayam. Such an intense experience on the seat of meditation, when you open your eyes and step out into the world, what do you see? What does such individual see? Tiryak urdhvam adaha, up, below, and everything in between. Meaning everywhere around. What you see is, you will see matter. But the matter is not perceived as the grossness that we perceive today. Every aspect is perceived as an aspect of that conscious principle alone. This is what some of the bhaktas call, that they see Bhagavan everywhere. What was Prahlada's experience? That he saw God in animate, inanimate things, moving things, beings, every which way that he saw nothing but Paramatma alone. He saw his Narayana alone. This is what the devotees say. And what do the jnanis say? Satchidanandam advayam evam darshayati. They constantly see. They constantly, seeing is not again as a verb. It is not used here as a verb. what they open their eyes and they see the extension of that conscious principle alone. Hence, therefore, when they deal with anybody, it would be with that utmost reverence that they deal and interact with things as well as beings. Because what are they interacting with? They are interacting with their own extension. See, when you handle with your own hands or with your own body, aren't you extra careful or extra nice to this body which is yours? And in that body, if there was an abscess, if there was some kind of a what do you call it? Yeah, abscess. And you give it an extra attention. Why? That which is an extension of yours is not in a good condition. So you give it an extra care, an extra protection. Similarly, such a Mahatma, when they open their eyes and see their extension, and see their extension not in a good shape, it is the help or the service is not given because they are out of shape. It is given because that is my own extension, hence therefore I am reaching out. So it is not done for any achievement, it is not done for gaining some kind of a Nobel Peace Prize for service. Because you are doing it for your own extension. If you are cleaning your wound, are you supposed to be given a Nobel Prize for that? Are you supposed to be given a recognition for that? A sabha and a big kind of a gathering arranged, and then you are given a shawl and a plaque and then a big pushpamala. Why? You have cleaned your own wound. The whole world is your own extension, and if there is some abnormality, you reach out because it is your own extension in that form. So from that perspective, when service is done, which Gurudev has packed it in his pledge, he says, service to the nation is a service to the Lord of Lords. Service to humanity is the service to the Supreme Self. It is from this standpoint he is making that. But if our mind is constantly trained, wherever there is abnormality, constantly I am looking out for that abnormality. So what is the upasana, nitya upasana that I am doing? Of abnormality. So down the lane, what will my mind become? Abnormal. So there is a lot of pent up feelings that I do so much, nobody recognizes. I do so much, there is no change. Even the service gets corrupted. See, when the Western world talks about the self-realization as the most selfish purpose or a selfish motive, that you focus only on yourself and your happiness and your realization, it is half the truth. After realizing it, what are you doing? You are reaching out to your own extension, and that can be the best service given. Why? You are not anticipating anything in return. There is nothing to corrupt that action. Even if it is done little, it is done effective. Tiryag urdhvam adaha purnam, any which were beyond time and space, is nothing but that conscious principle alone. Anantam nityam ekam yat. Anantam, unending. What is the expansion? of this consciousness? There is no end to it. If infinity had an end, why would it be called infinity in first place? The moment there is an end, it becomes finite. Finitude is in the realm of, or the time and space is in the realm, still in the mind, in the mindset. Having transcended that mind, there is no more beginning or an end. Anantam. Why? Because you are that eternal. So you realize it as well as expand with that realization out into the world, connecting with your own expansion. Today, we are pretty disconnected. Even those that we are related to, we are not connected. We are just, fragmented beings put in one space and time. The actual connection is when you connect within to the core of your being, you connect to everything, every being around. Tat Brahma Aham iti avadharayet. Constantly meditate on that one aspect alone, again and again and again. Almost like in a conclusion to this reaffirmed thought, in the 57th shloka it is said, atadvyavrittirupena. Again the Sanskrit, there is a misprint. The word meanings, it has been printed right. So copy that on the top, then you will be able to read it properly. Atadvyavrittirupena. Atadvyavrittirupena Vedantairlakshate dvayam Akhandanandamekam yat Tad brahmetyavadharayet. See, Vedanta, the knowledge of Upanishads, is so consistent and so clear about this one thought. Vedantaihi lakshyate, that which is indicated through the Vedantic scriptures, meaning the knowledge of Upanishads, given through various aspects of these kinds of Prakarana Granthas or various other auxiliary texts. What is the lakshya of Vedanta? We stand here and do the arati. One of the mantras there is न कर्मणा न प्रजया धने न त्यागे नैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजते यद्यतयो विशन्ति वेदांत विज्ञान सुनिश्चितार्थाः संन्यास योगाद्यतयः विशन्ति. वेदांत विज्ञान सुनिश्चित अर्थः, that which is the crux of Vedanta, if it be put in one word, what is that one word that they have chosen to use? That is called Sannyasa Yoga. Before I go into the meaning, let me tell you, Sannyasa Yoga does not mean a special colored cloth. Sannyasa Yoga does not mean that it is the fourth stage of life. There sannyasa has a deeper meaning and a deeper impact, which has two shades of meaning. And without understanding these two shades, it is pretty incomplete. One aspect of sannyasa is to give away the wrong identities. Nyasa, to give away. Sannyasa is to completely give away wrong identities. Now these wrong identities are in up here that we have created that attachment. Where is the attachment? It is in the thought process. That attachment has to be given up. It is not the people, it is not the beings, it is not the things, it is not the material. It is the attachment and the identification thereof which has to be given up. That is one meaning of sannyasa. Having given that up, what should we do? Gain that stability and accessibility of mind and intellect, discipline the body, transcend this body, mind and intellect, and identify. That identification is also called invocation, is also called sannyasa. Identify with the core of our own being. That is called sannyasa yoga. How do we reach there? Vedanta Vijnana Sunishchita Artha. That which is given by the Vijnana, great science of Vedanta, science of life that it has given. Try understanding it, investigating into it and understanding it thoroughly. See, even that point, the scriptures have been so benevolent. They have never said that this is a scriptural injunction and thou shall believe in it. Why? This is what the scripture says. Even at that point it says that investigate into it, understand it thoroughly and abide in it as given in the guidance. Vedanta lakshaihi Vedantaihi lakshate advayam atad vyavritti rupena. By the process of constant negation. That which I am not, let me peel that layer away. And somebody who has not seen or beaten up by the experiences of hollowness of the worldliness will not appreciate this. Having gone through that experience, they see that the world out there and the experience with it, how hollow it is, they stay firm. Some need not be even beaten up by the world and its hollowness. For them just to perceive it in their other's life is more than sufficient. Very rare few. How many Buddhas do we get around? Not that many. He saw one sick person, one old person and one dead body. 3 experiences in a day and he said, done with this world. I don't need this kind of world to be caught up in this world. I need to find something that which is permanent, and he spent 15 straight years in finding it. Very rare few who have that capacity. Akhanda Anandam Ekam Tat, Ekam Yat. And they come to realize with this process and support of Vedanta that the unfragmented core of being is nothing but expressing itself, throbbing itself into this multitude of this universe. And yet it is uncontaminated or unlimited by time and space. Again, time and space is a concept of an awakeful mind. When you sleep, is there a concept of time and space? And there is a feel good factor by the mind that the good king size, is the king size big or the queen size big? Okay, the king size bed that you sleep on has to have velvety, silky things, and then to some. It doesn't matter. Once that mind switches off, where you sleep doesn't matter. What space you sleep doesn't matter. Even in an uncomfortable chair during satsangs, you can sleep. So I get sleep only when I have this kind of. It is just a humbug. There is no reality to it. Time. There is no concept of time in there. But that when it is done awarefully, that I am the conscious principle. Tat Brahma iti avadharaya. Constantly meditate on that one awareful existence. In being that. Having thus said, he switches gear to the next level. What is that? That we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shant Shant Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.